Good morning, students. In the web programming subject, we have started with the CSS chapter, the cascading style sheet, and we have seen so many topics. Now, only last topic is remaining of this chapter. So, the HTML CSS combined topic or unit we are going to be completed by today. So, in the previous lecture, we have seen the different types of text properties if we want to provide, then how to provide with the syntax, and also we have seen the box model in that different four top and bottom, left and right, different margins, how to provide the margins and the space between the lines with the paragraph and also with the borders, how to provide that everything we have covered in the previous lecture. So now today we have to see regarding the list type. We have seen in the HTML, that is the ordered list and unordered list. These two topics we have seen in the HTML portions. But in that, if we want to provide some extraordinary facility with some syntax, then how we can provide. So for that, let me share the screen with you. So we will continue with that today's our topic, right? So that is our today's topic. This is the CSS list that we have to continue. So basically, the CSS list properties allow you which things we can do with the help of CSS list. So we can do these three things. One is set different list item markers for order and unordered list. Basically, we know that the markers will be provided. In other words, we can say in terms of a bullets, right? So that this different types of markers or bullets will be provided for the order and unordered list. Second thing, what we can do with this list is set an image as the list item maker. We can provide the image also in the background. Just we have to provide the path as the list item marker, right? And the third one, as a list item marker, we can set the position at some particular proper means with the left align, right align, center align. So that will come in the part of a position. But how with the different styles and syntax, that we have to see. Second is CSS list style type, different types of style type and with the image. So these are the things which will we have to cover over here in the CSS list portion. So now example of CSS list style type. So one is UL, and you know that unordered list that will be defined with the UL. So unordered list, inside that you have to use this particular syntax list style type. Either you can provide the decimal type of that marker, or you can provide the circle marker, or you can provide the none, right? So basic by default, whatever the bullets or marker will be there, it will be provided. So either you can provide the different values over here, or you can provide the default value. But you have to remember this syntax. For the unordered list, you have to write down UL, and inside the body, you have to use this particular syntax, that is the list style type, and you have to provide the value over here, whether it will be a decimal or whether it will be a circle or none. Right. So over here you can see the different output also. Like this is we can say rectangle type of shape with the filled with the pink color. Coffee, tea, and Coca-Cola, different options will be provided by the markers. Similarly, over here, the different in the tabular format, these options are provided. And inside over here, here the bullets are outside the table, and over here bullets or markers are inside the table, right? So different types of functionalities we can provide with the help of this CSS list attributes. Now example of CSS list with image, so second property. So for that, suppose we are writing ordered list OL, right? Inside the bracket we have to write list style image. In the previous one we have seen list style type. Now we have to see list style image, and in the URL we have to provide the path of the image wherever we have kept. And the third one, example of CSS list position. If we want to provide the position, then again for the order list OL, inside the bracket we have to write list style position, and we have to write inside. So here suppose we are writing inside, so it will be provided in this way. Suppose we are writing outside, then it will be there in this way. And suppose we are writing none, then by default will be provided. So these are the different styles we can add for the better GUI purpose whenever we are designing the web page with the help of HTML and CSS programming language. So now next is styling the links, how to style the links. So anchor link states that basically 4 anchor link will be there, and you know that anchor link basically used to provide means to provide the hyperlink. In the hyperlink we are using the website, right? So whenever you are writing a paragraph and you want to provide a particular hyperlink for a particular website which will redirect on that particular page, so for that anchor tag we are using in the HTML. Now with the help of CSS, how we will make it more stylish. So the 4 link states are anchor tag, link, basically if we will write a link, right? So in that way the meaning is normal link and unvisited. Suppose we are writing visited, so a link that user has already visited, right? So if you are writing, this is the, let me correct over here. It will be like in this way. Yeah, we will not get confused. Let me save it. Okay, so it is in this way. So four link states are available. One is anchor tag colon link. So this is the meaning of a normal and unvisited link. Suppose we are writing anchor tag with the visited. So a link that the user has visited. Then hypertext, that is a edge over. So a link when the user mouse over it. So whenever the cursor of a mouse will go on that particular hyperlink. And active, so a link that the moment it is clicked, right? So four different state. Basically link, this is a normal, this is a visited, this is a edge over, means whenever you will make your cursor of user mouse on that, and one another is active, means link that moment is clicked. So we know that sometimes we will visit a particular websites using the hyperlink. So the colors will be there. Suppose if you have not visited, then the normal blue color will be given. But if you will visit it once, then the color is going to be changed. So the best example, if you will consider that you are searching something in Google, right? So whenever you will search anything in the Google, so all the list of the result will come in your on your web page. And once you will visit a particular website for a particular task, and if you will go back and again you will visit the next link, so the earlier link, the color is going to be changed, right? So the meaning is that जब तक आपने यूज नहीं किया तब तक वो सपोज ब्लू कलर में था, अब आपने विजिट कर लिया तो वो ग्रे कलर में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. सो मीनिंग क्या है? यू हैव विजिटेड दिस लिंक. So sometimes, so many times, whenever you are doing this thing in your Google searching, these things are going to be happen. But we are not going in that much detail. Okay, चलो color ही change हुआ ना, कैसे हुआ? But that will be the part of this over here in the web page designing. So you can change the color. So normal link, that is the part of it over here with this help of a tag, that is the anchor tag and link. Anchor tag get visited, it means user has visited. Edge over, whenever you will cursor you will take with your mouse on that particular link, at that time you will, ऐसा होता है कभी माउस वहाँ पे आप इमेज पे रखोगे, कर्सर आपका माउस है तो नीचे उसका वेब एड्रेस आएगा like www.this. Whenever you click on that, it will be redirected. And another is active link, means the moment it is clicked, whenever you will click on that particular thing, then you are going to be redirected. So these are the four different anchor link states that you have to remember for the theory point of view. Now how to do this thing? So how to do this thing? So over here you have to use in this way, anchor tag colon link. So what is this? Is a normal link, right? So color, you can provide any color. So this is whenever normal link, if you want to provide, so which type of color you want to provide, that will be decided with this particular type of a syntax. So यहाँ पे आप आपका कोई भी color select करोगे, suppose blue color I am selecting. So whenever I will select a normal link, I am providing any link, so the blue color will be provided with the help of this programming syntax. Now visited, suppose if I have visited that link, then the color is going to be changed, right? So how to change the color value, that we will decide from this. So again, for that you can provide the particular syntax, that is the anchor tag and visited, inside that color ff40, right? Here you can change the color value, right? So this is a visited link, this is the unvisited link, but you have to remember this syntax, how to write this thing, right? Example of a anchor tag of link, example of a anchor tag using visited. Now edge over, so here you can see that 00ff00. So mouse over link, for that you can provide the different color and selected link. Once you will click the link, then also, so over here again the color is going to be changed. So for a particular hyperlink or anchor tag, you may provide these additional extra facilities regarding the whether you have visited the hyperlink or not, in the four different cases. Which are the four different cases? Link, visited, edge over, and the active, right? Now, what is the CSS layer? So CSS allow you to control which item will appear on the top with the use of layers. In CSS, each element is given a priority, right? Every element has given some priority. If there are two overlapping CSS position element, the element with the higher priority will appear on the top of the other. So it may happen that sometimes you are designing your web page, so you are going to use multiple elements of HTML and CSS. So in CSS also, so many elements are there, and if you are writing different types of elements together, then which will work first? Whether a hyperlink work first, or whether that particular, we can say that glass box model we have seen in the previous lecture. So for that, whatever syntax we have seen, that will work first or which thing. So we know that one by one it is going to be executed. But suppose in a single line we are writing the multiple elements, then it will check the priority, and based on the priority it will put on the top of the other. So the Z index property specify the step order of an element, and you know the concept of step, last in first out, right? So the step concept, that policy they are referring, and the Z index property specify the step order of an element. So what is Z index? Z index only works on position elements, position absolute, position relative, and position fixed. Now what is that? Let's see. Suppose example, HTML, division ID, division 1, division ID, division 2. Two divisions we have created inside the CSS. What we are writing for the division 1, position is absolute, height is 100 pixel, width is 100 pixel, left margin is 100 pixel, and top margin is 150 pixels, right? Or we can say it's a distance. We have given height, width, left, and top. Background color that we are providing red, and Z index that is 1. Now for the division 2, same thing we are going to do. Position is absolute, height is 200, width is 200, left 50, and top 100, and background color is blue. So all these CSS for the division 1 and division 2, you can see the output over here. So now we have used over here the Z index. What is that? So Z index only works on position elements, right? So it means that it will first of all draw this red color square over here, and then it will execute the blue. Right, so Z index 1 is given, means it is going to give the priority. That first we have to evaluate this thing, then we will go for the next thing. So that will be the use of Z index, and it will just we can say it will means remove the chaos between the elements and provide the priority how it will be going to be executed. So to remember the importance of Z index property over here in this example, here you can see that two things, right, which we have created in the HTML and CSS file. Now, what is float property? So with CSS float, an element can be pushed to the left or right, allowing other elements to wrap around it. Wrapping text around an image is easy when using the CSS float attribute. You have a choice to either float the picture to the left or to the right. So basically, let's see the examples, we will get the better idea. Division ID, division 1 and division 2. In the division 1, content is ABC content, like this, and XYZ content. And division 1 background color, red, float on the left. And similarly, background color is blue and float on the right. So now what is the meaning of float that we are using over here? So now just read this thing. With CSS float, an element can be pushed to the left or right side, allowing other elements to wrap around it. Right, so we are allowing this thing, whether it will float on the left or float on the right. Means allowing an element can be pushed to the left or right, allowing other elements to wrap around it. Wrapping the text, you know that suppose one particular size we have taken, inside that whatever words we are providing, that is not feasible, means it is not going to be fit in that particular box, then we are doing the wrap text, right? And meaning of wrap text means it will be come in a particular position, whether it is a center or whether it is on the left side or a right side. So for that we are increasing the width of a cell like that. So this wrapping mechanism will come over there. Wrapping text around an image. Now this is the new thing. Wrapping text around an image is easy when using this CSS float attribute, and you have a choice to either float the picture to the left or to the right. So this is the property of float property, which will give again additional thing for the advantage of the web page. Now here we are completing all the CSS properties and elements. Now this is just introduction of CSS3, right? CSS3, this is a, we can say, latest cascaded style sheet mechanism. Some of the most important features of this CSS3 modules are, you can now add the animations also, calculating the values with calc, advanced selectors, gradients are available, web fonts, box sizing, border images, multiple backgrounds, and CSS columns. All these additional things will be the part of this now CSS3. So first of all CSS came, then CSS1, CSS2, now CSS3 is there. Right, so inside that we will just discuss the gradients for the exam point of view. Sometimes they're asking. So CSS gradients let you display smooth transitions between two or more specified colors, different types of transitions. This is nothing but a graphical property, right? CSS defines two types of gradients. One is linear gradient and another is radial gradients. So radial gradients means defined by their center and goes down, up, left, right, and diagonally. So gradients means 3D type of view, or you can say different types of transitions in XYZ plane, which will be provided to you. So again, it will create more better GUI in terms of for a particular designing a web page. Right. So here we are completing our this CSS chapter, and HTML CSS topic we have completed. So now you have to solve the previous GTU question papers. I will also provide some programs and the theory questions from the previous exam papers. So this particular chapter we are completing. Now in the next lecture we will start with the JavaScript. So in the web page designing, HTML we have seen, CSS we have seen. Right now we have to complete the theory portion. So programming practice you have to do in the lab session or at your home. Right, if you will get the time after the theory session, then we will perform some programs. But whatever examples I have covered in the theory, that you have to try at your home, so you will get the better idea inside that. So now another is PHP, MySQL, and JavaScripts are remaining for this particular chapter. So now in the next lecture, we are going to start with the JavaScript. So till that, stay at your home, stay safe. Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.